He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Nine ball top number, you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, legend from the Jill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works for the skill. In the ball, legend from the Jill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the quarterback to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck, but skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. To the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck, but skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool, nothing else.
Well, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to VP4 TV. We have, I don't know whether this is a second round match, I haven't a clue. I never looked at the bracket, but we've got a match in the Virtual Straight Pool World Championships coming up at the top of the hour. It's between Cobra, the defending champion representing the UK, and Preacher representing the USA. And with the greatest respect to Preacher, I think this could be a bit of a bloodbath. But it does give us a chance to see how Cobra is playing. One thing I would mention, it is a first round. I never remember you having those numbers after your name, Larry. Anyway, welcome, Larry. Looking at the current state of affairs as far as the stats go, the highest run in this tournament so far is 35 by Acero. And I'm all for going back to what the straight pool originally was and putting it to the normal pockets to actually encourage some scoring, because the scoring's been terrible so far. And I think it should go back to what it was. After all, Steve was the one who said that straight pools normally played on looser pockets. So I think if we're going to have any decent runs in this damn thing, then having it on narrow pockets isn't exactly encouraging it. But then again, maybe we've not seen the players capable of actually putting a run together, and presumably Cobra's the man for that today. Interesting message I had when I checked my messages in VP4. I had a message from Tommy with no further detail other than contact Steve. I don't know whether Tommy said he's not had any response from Acero. I think that's maybe what he's getting at, but I don't know what I've got to contact Steve about, because Acero, I assume, normally responds to proposals. Unless Tommy's around, which he isn't, I can't ask him to clarify what the hell he wants me to do. I think he sent the message to Steve, but I honestly don't know what his problem is, and I don't know what the deadline is for their match, because, again, I haven't looked. So apart from that, there are about another 2 or 3 matches on the schedule, but there's none for today as far as I'm aware, other than this one. And Cobra's here. Cobra's in getting some practice. Preacher's here as well. And they go at the top of the hour. Yeah, there's a high run, 35. And let me just tidy that up a bit. We've got Cobra with a high run, not Cobra, bloody Acero, and then the next one below that is 24 from Romario. And Romario's already through at the one-loss side, which he should never have been. He'd umpteen chances to win that match, and is his own worst enemy. But the rest of the scoring has been not too impressive, shall we say. And I wasn't actually all that keen to do this match, but I've got nothing else to do this time in the afternoon, so I thought I might as well. But like I said, with the greatest respect to Preacher, I don't think he's anywhere near the class he's going to have to be to cause Cobra many problems. And I just wonder whether this match is actually going to get to the 200, whether Preacher's going to have the stomach to stay in there, because it could be rather bloody. But then who am I to judge? I mean, it might be a surprise to me, not that I've ever really seen him playing a lot of straight pool, but we will find that out. The room is up, and we will get in, and we have the lag for the break. We've got Preacher on the right-hand side, and Cobra on the left. And Cobra's going to win it, so he's going to put Preacher into bat. And let's see if Preacher's worked anything out on the break for a start, because this is probably the most important part of straight pull, is getting a decent break in and trying to keep things safe. There's definitely an art to breaking in straight pull. And the real art is actually trying to get that 3 ball to come back to the stack, and that way you're leaving it reasonably safe, but he hasn't got it there, so Cobra's in straight away, a couple of balls up at the far end to work with, and he probably would like an angle in one of them to do some damage here straight off the bat, although that 12 ball is going to be in the way of that, I think. Let's get up and have a quick look. No, it's not the 12 ball, it's the 11. No, it is the 12. Well, he's got a slight angle. Now, if he goes into the 6 ball, he should be guaranteed he's got the 1 to play with. He's going to have to jack up. Yeah, well, he's actually came loose, but he's okay. Like I say, word of warning to anybody watching, because it's straight pull, I do move the camera quite a lot because I like to see any particular setups that there might be within that stack, so be aware of that. And he's going to have to be careful here because, well, he's trying to do a bit more damage. Got the 8 ball, and they're all actually perfect here for picking off. This is all about the pattern to find your way out here. But having said that, looking at what we have with the layout here, there's not exactly the most obvious of break shots here. You could go for the 2 ball from the inside to get into the side of the pack, unless he bumps something favourably into play here. That 7 ball, well, there's 2, 3 balls that are pretty much dead here. They're no use to anybody. 1 ball's at the back corner. So I'm thinking at the moment, bear in mind he's got the 6 ball down here in the kitchen. He could easily play the 6 ball to get on the inside or the outside of that 2 ball to have the angle to come into the pack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down Discord in a second, because I only opened it just in the off chance that Steve might stumble in, but it's still a bit early over there. I think there's still a 4-hour time gap at the moment until our clocks go forward at the end of March. So he has to clear the blocking ball, which I'm sure he'll do. But I'm looking at this. I can't say that the 3 ball is going to be really ideal, but the 9 ball is actually now perfect. So that's changed the circumstances here. He's got a perfect 9 ball for a break shot, and he could have done me coming a bit lower if he was trying to get good in the 6. Now, it's far too high an angle, means that the cue balls want to run up and down the table, and he's not guaranteed it would be perfect. So he's going to have to get right back onto this 6 ball sooner rather than later, unless he wants to try and deal with the 3 first. Now, that's neither here nor there. He hasn't got there at all. He'll not be happy with that shot. Definitely not. That's well weak of where he wanted to be. So he's had 2 goes at getting in the 6, and he hasn't got there, neither of them. Now, obviously, if he plays the 3 and he runs around the back of the 9, he can get down here. He's got to go for it, I think. I mean, the angle's perfect to come around the corner right behind that 9. He's checking this up a bit, so I'm not sure. Well, now I'm not sure what he's doing. Now he's right up on the top of the cue ball, so he may have not. Now he's coming back. Got to watch that side pocket. And he's missed the 3. So the run ends in 12. And like I said earlier, I'm all for going back to normal pockets because it does encourage scoring, and this is going to be a pretty drab tournament with players being caught out with these pockets. They don't have that little bit of leeway. Well, Preacher's dead and buried already. That might end up blocking. That's actually ended up not a bad safety, although I'm not sure he exactly played it, but it'll do. Well, there is a crossover bank on the 3 ball, unless he thinks he's... Yeah, he is looking at calling it. And the cue ball will be heading in the right direction to have a shot in this 9. That looks good to me. Perfect. Now, this needs to slow up. He needs to be able to get into this cue ball. Well, this is ideal. Cobra's forgot to wish his opponent good luck, I notice. Maybe he doesn't like the guy. But anyway, the break has worked out very nice. I mean, this is a join the dots exercise here for Cobra. Uh-oh. And he's almost gone wrong. No, he's fine. I thought he was blocking himself off there, but he's fine. So even at this stage, you've got all of this stuff here to deal with. But then you're looking at where's the break ball. Well, there's an ideal break ball there. The 2 ball. 9 ball's a bit... not 9 ball. What ball was that? The 12. It's a bit far at the back of the pack. But 14 ball and the 2 ball right now would be nominated as potential break balls. 2 ball probably the favourite. And one benefit he has is that these 3 balls down in this bottom half of the table are ideal. Whatever one it might be, they're ideal to get onto that 2 or the 14 ball. But he's already gone wrong again here. He's got a bailout though. He might end up getting rid of these 2 right now, so then it just becomes a wee bit trickier. Well, that's why he's probably committed to... I thought for a minute there he was going to get rid of the 2 and keep the 14, but... Well... Now, is he coming around the back here? Because he wants to come higher to get that 8 ball out of the way, I would assume. That might be the one he'll play for. He could play the one down the rail and come back for the 8, but he certainly wants to get rid of the 8. And then the 3 ball would be the penultimate ball from getting onto that too. Well, that's a complete disaster. That's a terrible shot. Why he played to run into the 2, I have no idea. I have not got a clue what he was thinking there. And he scuppered. The 2 of them are dead in the pack. So this is already on to plan C. Well, that, to me, it was so obvious to try and avoid running into your break ball. Well, he's got a draw to come to the back of the pack for that 2 ball, but this has to be perfect. And this is not the easiest thing to judge. And getting the pace of this right, whether he's going to go to the rail and come out, or whether he's just going to try and draw it dead. It's tricky. In fact, he's going forward to try and judge it. Now, this actually looks perfect pace to me if it slows up. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, he's gone too far, but he's got a shot. He's going to have to dig into this a bit, I think, to catch the corner of the pack there, that 9 ball. And he's good to go, although there's immediate problems. And the immediate problem is that one there. And the 12 ball is far too straight on to do any damage, to nudge them. And he's not exactly got an adjacent ball over there to break them out. So there's something that is going to niggle you during this visit here to try and do some damage. He's trying to get a chip there, no joy. And all the time you're trying to, you know, stay at the table, you're always concerned about this. I mean, obviously you know what you've got to deal with here, and he's got a couple of balls there where he can do some damage, but this here's the thing that will be giving him a sore head, and he's running out of balls to get there. Has he got the angle now? Well, he's got the angle, so this should be good to go. And that's good enough. That's all he needed, just a little chip. And that's dealt with that issue. Problem is, he's got, well, he's got a bailout ball down table, but he really needs to take the 11, I think, to stay at the table. Yeah, the prospects at the moment on this visit aren't great. And he's overcut that by a country mile. Even more evidence that we should go back to the normal pockets for this thing. And Preacher's missing a basic cut, which does not make his prospects any better doing that. Well, it was a miss because he was miles out in the pot. I'll give you that. He was miles out in the pot. Welcome to Vince says. By the way, Vince says, if you looked at that members-only video, I can't remember whether I told you to look at it. There's one members-only video on my channel, and I want all my members to look at it. I can't remember whether I was spoken to you, but I'm still trying to find out who those two other guys are. You know who's arrived in the room. Well, of course, you know, to me, that's the challenge of the normal pockets. The normal pockets is a challenge to actually get higher runs. And yes, the price you pay for a loose cue ball is you know, there's a higher likelihood of scratching. But in the past, when we had them like that, we were at least having some nice scoring. We're struggling in this damn thing. And look at Cobra. I mean, he's struggled already. And it doesn't make for a very exciting viewing when somebody's getting close to a 100 run, and we don't think that anybody's going to get a 100 run. We think that's going to be a struggle. So I think I'm trying to think of the word, but, you know, the encouragement's there to score, but the price you pay for a loose cue ball is there as well. And I think that makes it more interesting for me as a viewer to see some of these guys putting some scores together, because this is not very interesting at the moment, shall we say, from the evidence we've seen so far in these matches. Guys missing pots left, right and centre. Yeah, well, I need a lot more than a few quid to get a new PC, the type of PC I want. So, quick look at this ball. You know, that'll do. That needs to keep running. He's good to go. Couple of balls at the back of the stack. 10 ball is actually sitting pretty good there for a breakout shot to open that major cluster of balls that are sitting there. That 10 ball's absolutely perfect to get in there. Mind you, if you get rid of the 10 and go the other side and use that 13 ball, you can do the same if you get the right angle on it. Now, these are the type of things that you have to be on your toes for whenever you're trying to play this game. And again, I'm no expert, but I mean, I'm good enough to know what you have to look for. You have to look for the opportunities immediately to deal with situations that are going to hinder your prospects of putting any sort of score together. And there's the damage done. And that has worked out very nice, apart from the fact that, again, there's not exactly an obvious break ball here. The 5 ball's right there. I mean, that'll do. I didn't realise it was sitting where it was, so that's perfect. So that doesn't need to be touched. That's the one you avoid at all costs. Doesn't need any further nudging or anything like that. I think I've only played straight pool at once or twice. I can't remember. And I think I got a 30-odd run and that was it. I've never played it hardly. And I don't know, I think even that was maybe during testing. I don't know. It's never a game I've really played. Well, I suppose the object and the task for Cobra is to see if he can better 35 at some point during this match. But poor old Preacher, he's going to end up with maybe a fairly embarrassing scoreline here. Oh, no, he doesn't want to do that. See, again, that's a nudge in a ball that he didn't really want to do, but I think he's... Can he get that 12? Well, that's sitting awkward. If that cue ball was just out another half an inch, he would have probably dropped it in. Well, he's still looking at it. I'm not convinced you can get enough of that without putting on to the point. He needs to get out and get rid of that. Well, he's going to take the 2, if only because he just finished a bit too square in this 8 ball, but a perfect opportunity to get rid of the 2 and also get rid of that 12, I think. Now he has to deal with these 2 balls down here. Question is whether he's going to leave that 7 ball up there for the last shot. I mean, the 15 ball down at this end here would be ideal to get to the 5. The 7 ball, you first of all have to get good on it. And secondly, you're going to go probably to the rail and out, which, again, you've got to judge that pace right so you've got the break angle to get into the pack. So, again, this is sort of on a knife edge for Cobra in terms of whether he's going to get good here. And he still hasn't got rid of that 12 ball on the side pocket. How does he get to the 7? So now he's in 2 minds of how he's going about this, I think. He's the wrong angle in the 15 for a start, so the cue ball's going to have to be running. Well, he's trying to get there. Not a bad effort. Pretty good. And now It's all about dropping the 12 in and bringing the cue ball out far enough to have a good angle on this 5 ball. Now, is he going to take it down the rail? Because he's ended up far too straight here as well now. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think this could have finished much worse. This is no good. Unless he's nipping it into the side. But that point is very touchy when he's going up top. Trying to spin out. Well, it'll do. Well, if he gets... Well, he can't hit this too hard. He'll miss the pack. I think. Maybe catch the 8 ball. I don't think he can blast this. He just needs to knock something out so he's got a shot. And that'll do it. He knew fine well he couldn't hit that hard. He just had to get a touch to bring something and keep him going. And now he's got a 6 ball that can do some damage. Right, just give me 2 seconds, guys, to shut this Discord down. Hang on, I'll be back in a minute. Right, that gets rid of that. I don't think these 2 balls on the short rail at the bottom here are a major problem. Well, from the 4 ball side, the combo's easy enough. And again, he wants to get back there sooner rather than later, I would suggest, because we've also got, I think the 11 ball goes. Does it go? Let's have a look at the other end. The 11 ball goes, so that can deal with that unless you're trying to play that. You see, you can't play the 14 ball up the table because the 10 ball's a blocker up there. So if he's got the angle, he can just do a little touch here. But he doesn't want to send this 14 ball in amongst these because he's going to create more of a problem. This only needs a feather touch. And he hasn't dealt with that situation, so he obviously feels there's another way of getting to these 2 balls. I don't know why he didn't risk the little nudge. So now he can deal with the situation here, but that's the 2 balls that bother me. Well, he's got the nudge now. And everything has a pocket. So now where's the break ball? And the 9 ball looks favourite. The 14 ball can also be used as well, but it's tight in the corner. But that's the favourite. And the run goes to 32. I don't want to jinx him. Oh, that's a perfect angle on the 7. You can get him out into the table. I mean, the 10 ball again would be ideal to leave him a more controlled shot to get on that 9 ball for the break shot. And that might be the plan. It would need to be really bad on the 10 ball not to have a half decent shot on the 9 ball to follow for the breakout. I'm not sure. I don't know whether he wanted to play that 12 ball first, but he didn't get further behind it. But anyway, he's fine. The question is whether they can play a little stun across to go square on that 9 ball. Well, he's got the angle. Now, he can either go forward or just play a stun and come across. I don't know whether he wants to go forward, to be honest with you. I think the stun looks simpler. And that is perfect. Well, a bonus ball goes in. He's got bailout balls to deal with down here. The run goes to 40, so we've got a new high run of the tournament. So again, these 2 balls have got a pocket to go to, but at the moment they're blocked. He's got an angle on the 8 where he can do a bump if he wants. And he's got the 2 as a bailout ball as well. 2's lying there to get him out of any trouble. Now, again, we look at what the state of affairs are as far as a break ball goes. That 14 ball is tight, but it can still be used. It's not encroaching in the pack, so that can be used as a break ball. You don't want to stick yourself on something, but he's fine. And once again, with these 3 balls down at this end of the table, he's going to have to clear 1 or 2 of them, but he's got that option to be getting good on the break ball again. We're having these balls down here. So I would think that's probably in the plan. If push comes to shove, he could, as a last resort, he could use the 4 ball as a break shot, but then you've got to be inside the 4 ball so that you're cutting it down the rail, going to the rail and coming into the pack. But I think what did I say? The 14 ball. I think that has got to be it as far as break ball goes. Now he may well play that. Well, he's looking at the 1, but I thought he might play the 4 down the rail and get rid of the 11. Maybe not now. That's no great. He's just hampered. So now the critical shot. He's just gone short. You know, he would have liked to have been just straight in that to simplify things. Now he's got to work the cue ball a wee bit here. It's all about the perfect little angles, and this angle is not ideal simply because he has to watch the cue ball. That needs to go high enough, and that's not bad. So now he can go to the rail and come out. I don't know that he's straight enough to hold the cue ball. Let's have a look. No, he's going to go to the rail, I would assume. Well, it doesn't look like it. It looks as if is he trying to hold it, or is he going to the rail? I'm not 100% convinced. What is he is going to the rail. That's perfect again. Like I said, it's tight, but he's no doubt he's going to do damage here. Needs to come away from that pack. Bonus balls again going in. The run goes to 54. And, well, I think if he can take that 3 ball and get rid of the 15, that's immediately dealing with a problem. I think that would be what I'd be thinking straight away here. Just hold that 3 ball there and get rid of the 15. Well, he's gone the other way. And he's immediately caused another problem doing that. See, that would have been my plan. Get rid of that 3, get rid of the 15. He's now nudged a ball and he's got a blocker and created another situation. Whereas he only had 1 situation, now he's got 2. But again, he's dealt with it. I would have been all for getting rid of that 15. I mean, he's still got plenty of stuff in here to get to it. There's no immediate alarm, but you know, Cobra knows better than I do and how he wants to do it. And he can deal with it again here. And now that he's going to play this 3, I assume the 15. No, he isn't. He's coming back up again. Well, he's nudged the 4. The 4 was good anyway. And the 8 is also... There's the nominated break balls there, so he'll commit to one of them sooner or later. But you don't want to be leaving that 15 ball too late. He's still got a 6 ball that can get him to the 15. He's got the 8 ball if he decides to keep the 4 as his break ball. He can still get to the 15 as well. But I'm all for getting rid of that, like now. And then you don't have to worry about getting there one way or another. If you get rid of it now, that's it. It's out of your head. And I don't know whether he wants to... Well, he hasn't. I was going to say there whether he just wants to tickle that in and get rid of the 7 ball as well. The run goes to 61. So this setup right now is the prospects are very good for continuing the run. Now does he take the 10? Again, the 2 ball's a good ball to get to whatever break ball he commits to, but can he? I think he's finished too far inside the 10 there. So it's going to be the 8 ball to get to the 7. I think he might have rolled the 10 in if he was straighter on it, but he finished too far inside it. I'm talking about inside nearer the rail rather than inside towards the centre of the table. So now the 7 ball's going and it'll be down for the 2 and out for the break shot in the 4. He doesn't want to be too straight though. Oh, he's got an angle. He can just squeeze that, whether he wants to help it with a wee bit of spin or whether he just wants to stun. He could have... Well, I think that'll do. It'll do. He could have did with a wee bit more angle, I think, but anyway. Cue ball
Where's
comes
the
off
cue ball going?
It's well away from the pocket. So, got the break. Got a ball to keep him going. Well, got a couple of balls to keep him going. Again, he could take the 2, get rid of 1 or 2 of these at the back. Again, there's the blockers there. Quite look at that. That's not a combo. So you've got a couple of balls or 3 sets of paired balls here, none of which are really going anywhere, I don't think. I don't see anything that's set. There's a possibility that 14 and 6 are dead to the side pocket, but that probably won't stay there long. Like I said, that 6 ball was dead to the side pocket, commentator's eye. So the run is 71. Now, he's got to be careful here because he's going to have to tidy something up here very quickly. Try to hold an angle in the 9. to do a bit of damage. And that's ideal, because now you can pick these apart. Probably going to have to take the 14 or the 10, whatever ball that is. It's a 10 or the 11 into the side. But so now we have the 15 ball as the ideal break ball. So that's the one he'll be avoiding. And I think he's already, well, he's just going to have to nip back to avoid the bump in the 15. If he's going to take it, just a little chip back. He could use any of the two balls in the side rail to come out for the 15. He could use a roll in and the 10 ball into the side to get onto the 15. So again, the prospects are very good here for getting good on that 15 ball. It just all depends how he wants to go about it, but it's pretty good looking at the moment. The run's 76. One ball is better than the 15. I missed where the one ball was. I don't even remember where the one ball was. But anyway, he's done it his way. He's now into three figures and a mile ahead of Preacher. So it's going to be the 7 ball to get to the 15. Now this just needs a little chip back. Just a little draw. Well, just a bit more of a testier angle here for him to read.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, he's got away with it. He's got away with it. But he is good. The run is 81. Does he want to be taking a combo right now? No need to. He's already got a break ball in situ, I think. It might be a wee bit further away from the pack. The 9 ball's sitting there, but it's a wee bit further away. The 3 ball likewise as well, this side. So they're both, at the moment, potential break balls. There could be a bump here. Well, there'll have to be a bump unless he is... I mean, again, he's dealt with the problem there. That's dealt with that. So none of them have fallen any good for break balls. So he's still... I think the 5 balls landed better now that I mention it, although it's more at the top of the pack, but I think he could deal with that. So he has at least 3 options here where he's got a break ball to help him carry on. It's just about tidying up all the other mess that's lying around. The run is 84. I need to have a quick drink here. Well, he could play the 4 and let the cue ball just run onto that, whatever ball it is in the rail there. Is it the 11? No, it's the 12, but that's the shot he's played. That was always just going to hold him there, give him the choice of playing that 12 ball now if he wants. Now, the question is whether he's fully committed to the break shot. And, well, that 5 ball That 5 ball wasn't sitting there, was it? I think it was further down. It's now at the head of the pack, so I don't know that he wants that as a break shot. Does he? Does he want to play that, or does he want to keep the 9? I don't recall the 5 ball was sitting there. I thought the 5 ball was sitting there. It must have been a nudge that I missed. Well, I think wait a minute. Now that 5 ball, that's why he's got rid of it, because I'm pretty certain it wasn't sitting at the head of the pack there. I think it was a bit too close to the top of the pack, that 5 ball. So it's definitely going to be the 9, or at worst, the 7 ball at the back of the stack, which is never ideal for a break shot. But sometimes you just have to make do with what you end up leaving yourself. Right, now he needs to be fairly straight in this 9, or he's going to stun across. In fact, it's not the 9, it's the 1. I keep making mistakes here with the difference of these 2 balls. So I presume it's a cross for the 7, and he has to get good in it to be able to come out for the 9. And he's missed the pot in the 1. The English has done him, I think. And the run ends in 92. But that's certainly a more decent high run, but he was sitting good to continue the run. So now, Preacher, I think he's too straight in the 7 for a start. Well, why didn't he play the drawback to get onto that 7 and leave the 9 there? That's the question I'm asking. And he's too straight in the 7. Well, take the 7 and run for cover is the order of the day here, unless you start doing acrobatics. Well, he's got a nudge. I don't know that he's going to get much more from it, though. He's got a cut up the rail. That'll do for a start, and he's on the 1, I think. Does the 1 go? No, it doesn't. But the 8 does. And the 9 doesn't go. I think Cobra will be a bit annoyed he didn't get to the 3 figures. Well, I think Cobra can bump this 9 and just hold the cue ball into the stack. Let's have a look. Oh, he can bank that 1 ball and just kill the cue ball there. I don't think he's going to leave a great deal on if he does that. I mean, he could just nip off the 3 and head down into the long grass. That's as safe a shot as anything doing that. Yeah. So now, before you play a shot in this situation, you have to have a look and see what might be set. Because if you're going to catch a ball, you could be nudging something out into play. And that's going to lose him a point. But that's far better than losing another 60 or 70 odd points by leaving Cobra an easy start. And likewise again for Cobra, 15 ball down into the kitchen, close onto that short rail as you can get it. What about those 2 balls at the back there? Nothing doing there. And, well, you could play a shot to nothing in the 15. You're not going to get an awful lot after it, I don't think. Well, this has to be thin. That's not bad, although, of course, if he'd hit it any harder, he would have brought that 10 ball well into play. Is Cobra going to be aggressive? I don't think he can get enough of the 8-ball, can he? If he was wanting to have a smack at that 8-ball, I don't think he can get in there. Well, a feather edge at the 10-ball gets you back down into the safety zone. He looks as if he's playing the cut in the 9, though, or the 1, whatever ball that is. It's the 1. Well, this is where he could be. He could play the pot up in the corner. He knows fine well he'd be doing damage doing that. I mean, I think his lead is good enough to have a go at it. Because if he takes the 10-ball, unless he... there's no way. He might be playing for the 8-ball at the top of the pack there. I didn't see the 8-balls open. The angle's reasonable enough to do a little bit of disturbing of the balls here. Although he's not really done a great deal. They've sort of moved a wee bit, but not a great deal. So 3-ball, and not a lot else to follow unless the 5-ball goes, which it does. Well, this has to break them out into a more favourable position, I would think. And that's a lot better now. So once again, you're looking to see where the break ball is, and I don't see an obvious one there. You've got the 2 balls that are pretty much dead anyway. They're out of the game. The 12-ball at the moment would do. It would also do if you were playing a break shot into the side pocket, if it came to it, because that can get you into the top of the stack there once those balls are reloaded or re-racked. But either way, there is the potential break ball there right now. Welcome to Hazard. Now, well, again, he's now killed the 12-ball, so that's no good. But that nudge there is good. That nudge there will have to do, because again, the 6-ball's gone to the head of the pack. But it will do as a break ball. He's got a good 2-ball into the side that would allow him to get to that 6, but he's going to have to bail out in the 6 because he's blocked himself off. Well, he's got a dodgy cut in the... Well, not so much dodgy. He's got a cut in the 12. So we're now on to plan B. We might even be on plan C already. I'm not sure. But this is not an ideal situation for continuing the run. Far from it. Well, it could be 2 rails into the back of the pack here if he comes up high enough in the 2, if he's going to do that. But he has to get good in the 2, so we're definitely on plan C now. And he's going to have to dig into this to chip into the pack. Watch the cue ball, though. If it comes off the flat back pack, it could scratch. He's caught the corner. And now, is he going to get lucky? And the answer to that is, I don't think so. Well, he has. He's got a bailout. He's going to be really awkward queuing over that 7, but he's got a ball with the 8-ball into the side, but it's going to be a struggle to get a lot more. And he's ended up bolt straight. on the 1. And, well, if he can roll through, let's have a look at what the angle's like. If he can roll through and get squarish on this 10 ball and stay off the rail, he can get dug in. He's left it short. He hasn't got there. He hasn't got there. He wanted to run to about there where the donut is so he could come into the back of that stack there. And he has an angle now on the 4. I'm looking to see if there's anything that he spotted that I've missed, and I don't see anything. Well, those 2 balls go up table. He's got the nudge. That 11 ball's going to be a bailout ball, so that's fine where it is. Not the 11. What ball's that went down there? That's a 13. These colours always catch me out with this blue cloth as a background. I have to get zoomed in before I can make my mind up what ball it is with some of these stripes, particularly the pink 12 and the orange 13. They catch me out all the time. Well, that's just created another problem. He's got rid of one problem, created another. And there's the problem. Well, anybody that thinks straight pool's an easy game, they've got no idea. It is far from easy structuring a run in this game, or constructing a run. One nudge the wrong way and you're done for. Well, he's right through the gap. He didn't get the nudge right through the gap. And I'm looking to see whether he can get. You can get that 7 from this side. He just needs to drop around the corner. You can get the 7, no problem, from this side. You know, even if you finish sort of square on it, I think you can still get it. Now he's checked it up. Now he's dead. Now he's dead. Well, sometimes I think you take him, but could he see enough of this to cut it? No. Sometimes if you take your medicine and just run around the corner and get yourself onto that 7, you could still be at the table. Oh, you could see it. You could see enough of it. I don't think he can get to it. Fair play to him there. I thought he was blocked out. Well, he's battling to stay at the table. The run is only 23. The lead is huge. So he's got no worries there. But he's still got the fact that I don't think he can pot this without bumping the 7. Unless he really chips into it sharpish. Well, I think he's just tried his luck there to see if he can get a roll. Well, worse things could have happened. I mean, the 7 ball's not ideal, but it's better than nothing at all. It's well up at the head of the pack. Now, again, I think he's just gone a bit too far, where he could have maybe gone that side and played into the side and got a smack in those balls. He's just got too much angle in this 9 ball. And if he'd finished squarer in the 9, he could have just done that, went right through and played it into the side. So he's probably going to have to check this up a fair bit. Left English on it, go to the rail, but he doesn't want to die in the side of the pack. He's caught the top of the pack. He has a ball. It's going to be a cutback. And he's going to be running off the rail, and not an awful lot for him if he does that. I don't think the 10 ball's set. I don't think that's set. That cut across there, that's cutting the 10 ball into the 8 ball. He's got to play the cut in this 6, get dug into the cue ball and do a bit of acrobatics here, I think, unless he spotted something else to follow. But this is going to have to run. Now, I'm struggling to see anything. Well, if you want to be really critical, that 8-ball does cut, but good luck with that. Good luck with that 8-ball. But it does cut. You've not got much of a pocket for it to cut into, but it does go. But I think he's done the sensible thing there. He's taken the hit and just dropped a point. 150 points to 4. And Preacher comes to the table with not a lot on, shall we say. And Preacher just takes the hit as well. So he's now gone back to 3. Well, if he plays his safety off these 3 balls or these 4 balls on the left-hand side, he's going to open them up. And he has to come back down into this corner here in the bottom left-hand side if he wants to actually try and prevent leaving Cobra a shot. But he might be pushing this 3 on if he tries that. So you've got to be careful what he's up to here. That's going to be another point away. Or is it? Why did he not lose a point there? He must have skimmed them in the way up there then. He must have skimmed them in the way up and come back and hit them again. I missed that there because he didn't lose a point. I thought he'd missed them in the way up, come back and hit them, and I was waiting for him to lose another point. So he must have just feathered them on the way past. Well, again, you've got to get this really thin, this 14 ball, if you don't want to be pushing it on. He's played the one instead. Well, Cobra's got a little bit of a bait shot there. I think he'll take it because that 4 ball onto the 12 looks pretty good to me. I don't think he'll turn that down. I think he'd be getting far too cautious to refuse this. Well, he's looking around and looking around, but why he's not playing the 4 onto the 12, I don't know. Oh, because he's doing that instead. That's why. Right, so clearly all of these 3 balls go. They don't go because of those 2 balls. So you can get rid of one of them. And are they stone dead up into that corner? Is that 1 ball going to the jaw? Well, he's played a bump anyway, so that probably... I mean, you'd only ever play that out of desperation because you've got nothing else, but it looks as if it possibly could go, but it looks more to me that it's going to the long rail. Whether you could play it soft enough for it to cheat the pocket, I don't know, but I don't think he'll be going down that route. I think he'll be dealing with that situation right now. So this match started at 1 p.m. We're now an hour into it. We won't be here much longer, I can promise you that. Cobra's on 155. And Preacher looks as if it's going to be a struggle for him to get to double figures. Well, I did say that it was looking like it would be a bloodbath. I didn't quite think it would be as big a bloodbath as this. So Cobra now coming to the critical point, and well, You would say it's going to be the 11 ball. It's right sort of at the corner of the pack, but it is more than workable. He's also got a good penultimate ball to get on that break shot. So he's got no excuses here. This could be the run to the finish line. Well, if I was German potting machine, I'd be staying in the room or coming into the stream to actually watch what's left of this, because looking at his high run for the tournament, he needs to actually get a better idea of what he's going about if he wants to progress. No, he doesn't want to die in the pack. Oh, now. Well, he's got shots. They're all just a wee bit fiddly. They're just a wee bit fiddly. You wouldn't really want them for comfort's sake, but you know, he's got a 3 ball and a 1 ball, just a bit of a cut on either of them. Sooner or later, you've got to make your mind up, because you don't have an awful lot as an alternative. But it's going to be the little cut into the side. And he's almost killed it again, I think. Oh, no. Well, I think he's got a bailout up table in the 8, but once again, not a lot else. You can keep looking and keep looking, but there's your shot. That's the only one he's got that's going to keep him at the table, I think. Is he going for a wild cut in the 4? Or is that the 12? It's the 12. Well, this will be a blast. Anything could happen to the cue ball here.
Where's the cue ball going?
Commentator's eye. Anything can happen. You start running loose, you get the ultimate punishment. Scratch the side pocket. The run ends in 13. And here's Preacher's chance to get to double figures. And to be quite honest with you, if you can't get to double figures, Preacher, in this match, with this opportunity, then I would suggest that you stay well away from straight pool, because you've just got to pot 7 balls here and you'll be in double figures. I mean, as long as you do it right, you should be getting there. Well, Tommy's not exactly the guy that turns up in the VP4 lobby on the off chance. He usually just turns up for matches, but if by chance anybody sees Tommy, ask him what problems he's having with Acero, because as I said before some of yous arrived, he messaged me to say to contact Steve, but I don't really know what I have to contact Steve about, because he didn't really word the message that he sent to me that much. There was not an awful lot of information to work on. Well, I don't think Acero's really a problem in arranging matches, other than the fact there's a big time zone difference. But I mean, Tommy's only an hour ahead of me if he's living in Germany. And I don't know what the deadline is for their match either, because I haven't looked. Right, so Preacher's got himself onto double figures. And he's got a break ball in amongst that lot. Oh, they've got the match set now, Larry. Ah, well, that's good. So now I'm even more puzzled. I'm assuming that Tommy sent that to me because he hadn't heard anything from Acero, or Tommy wants to change something. I don't know. I haven't a clue. I'm assuming that he sent that because he maybe hadn't heard anything from Acero, but Well, if it's set now, then that's fine. There's no further panic. And Preacher, I think, has just wrecked his break balls that he had there. I think straight pool is probably, there's a number of games in virtual pool. See, 9-ball, you can get away with it most of the time, a lot of guys, but when it comes to the technical side of it, in terms of controlling that cue ball and getting it into a spot, you're going to get found out very quickly in this game. Because unless you can manipulate that cue ball to roughly where you want it to be most of the time, you're not going to be putting any appreciable runs together. Apart from the fact also you've got, you know, marginally tighter pockets, and I think what a lot of the straight pool tournaments are played on. I mean, there's straight pool tournaments every day in VP4, and I don't imagine that they're played on narrow pockets. I think they're played on the normal pockets. Well, Cobra went for the big cut back in the 8-ball for the breakout. He got the breakout, but he was just asking a bit too much on the cut in the 8 there. So these are sort of little consolation balls that Preacher can get here. Cobra's got no particular reason to panic. He just has to wait. The opportunities are going to come, and he'll get over the line eventually. That combo's stone dead. Well, that match must have been set while this match was up and running, because it wasn't set the last time I looked at the schedule. We'll have a quick look at that at the end of this. Well, I think there's at least 3 or 4 balls there that could be break balls. I think he's left that way short. I think he's got lucky there. I think he's got lucky. He's got a shot through the gap, but that, I don't believe he ever played there. Not in a month of Sundays did he play to play that 12 there. And that's why he's running way into the kitchen, and he's going to have to dig out a pot. Right, so what do you do next, Preacher? Well, you roll the 2 in and you roll through a few inches and you've got a pot. If you finish in the gap, you've got a 6 or an 11 into the side, so you don't need to roll away up the table. He's hit that too far. See, that little shot there, has he still got a pot? Oh, he has. The 11 goes. I thought that was blocked off, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Well, I think those 3 balls are all in the triangle, so they're no good to man their beast. Yeah, they're of no use whatsoever. Now, the shot to play here is to cut the 10 and come across right side, and if you come across square enough, you can get onto that 10 ball. Not the 10 ball, the 14 ball. Well, he hasn't come across square enough. He's got a bump, but it ain't ideal. The idea in my head was to miss the bump like that, and of course he scratched, but if he'd come across and got onto that 14, he had a chance there. to keep it going. So Preacher's run ends on 11. He loses a point for the scratch. That takes him to 25, which for a long while there is a lot better than what I thought he was going to end up on. Well, there's a potential break ball. It's not ideal, far from it. We might have to go. Oh, can he get anything out of this? I'm not convinced he's going to get a great deal out of this, is he? Is he going to hold it? I think he might be able to hold it. No, the commentator's eye was right, but he did get a skim off the back of them. He got a hit, got a ball. It was touch and go there, whether he was going to get anything. So the cut into the side in the 12 ball and letting the cue ball, he's going to have to let this run away down here if he wants to get that 9 ball. I mean, he could take the 8, which is a bit of a cutback. No, in the fact, do you think the 8 go? Well, it does go, but it's far too tight. So the cue ball's going to be running loose, but it has to run loose far enough if he wants to have a shot. Well, he went for the big stun to the rail to try and leave the cut on that 9. That was just asking a bit too much. I think Cobra's just want to get this done and dusted and put it out the way. And he's well past the stage where he wants to keep things tight. He just wants to. Oh, he's fouled the ball there, lost a point. Cobra's well past the stage where he's trying to keep things tight. He just wants to get things opened and get on with it and get it done. Well, this has ended up 2 straight on the 9, but let's have a look. He could leave it. He needs to try and let him have a look. Is it 2 straight? Can he squeeze in and out of that? He wants to see the cue ball wants to finish in the rail if he just rolls this in, but he wants really to have be able to get into the cue ball and play that 1 to do some damage. But he's got an angle there. Hasn't done an awful lot of damage, but again, all you're asking for is 1 ball to follow to let you keep going. So he's got that. That's not perfect. He can again maybe try and get on the back of this 9 from there. Maybe the 8 ball's a bit in the way. No, he's managed to avoid it, and I think he's finished a bit too straight again. He's just finished a bit too straight. If that cue ball was there, he would have been fine. He's just gone a bit too straight again. So again, we're moving on to plan B. Going forward for a bump, but the problem with that is sticking in a ball, which is exactly what he's done. And that will end the visit. So Cobra's getting to the finish line, but with dribs and drabs here. Yeah, he's stuck on the 6. He's got nothing. Well, he just takes the foul. He's left Preacher a shot. So what did I say Cobra's high run was? Was it 95? I think that's what it was. So that's certainly a bit more of a challenge for the rest of the guys left in the tournament. That's a target certainly more substantial than what we've had so far. Bit more of a challenge for those who are up to play their matches next. Well, you can play the 8 ball, play the 2 and hold it. But where's the break ball? None of them are any good. Eight balls too far at the back of the pack to be any good, I think. So this might be just take what you can get and then just duck. I mean, the 6 ball, yes, if you're there or thereabouts on it, you can work with it. And now he's got the ideal ball to get there. Just got to roll through, probably get this cue ball parallel with the 6 if he can. Well, he's gone a lot more inside. I think Cobra will play the 4 and get a bit better on it. Preacher's run ends on 7. He's got to 31. Well, he can work with that. So is this the final visit of Cobra? Skimmed across the top of the pack and has a couple of choices. And he's got balls at the back of the stack there where he can do damage, which once again, you should be really thinking about it sooner rather than later to get that damage done. Well, this isn't ideal for that, where he's finished. Now, if you were somewhere there, you can certainly get into the 14 ball. Well, this is a chance here where he's sitting on the 13. And that's actually not bad. I mean, he didn't do an awful lot of bumping and barging there because he's just tickled 1 or 2 out and freed things up a wee bit better. I think he can go with that. So now we have to look at this problem here. Now, I'm not sure whether he was trying to get right in there for the 2. I'm not 100% sure. He's got the 1 ball. But of course, all the time you're potting balls, you're running out of options. Well, he's going to finish 2 straight in the 9. He might have been thinking of getting a nudge off the 9 into those balls. Is he trying to squeeze a bit out of this, is he? Not quite sure whether he played for the 11. Can he get that 10? No, he can't. He's 2 straight in the 7. And it's just getting to a critical point here where this could break down if he doesn't address the situation very rapidly. And he's missed the 7. So Preacher's visit is 8. the problem lies there for Cobra. Now, Cobra could get crazy here and cut the 7 and run the cue ball and try and get a bump. He could get really crazy and do that. Let me have a look at this 7. I think it might be too much to resist here because he's got a perfect line where he can try and get a hit, and he's missed him. Big target there. Even if he'd gone to the rail there, he'd a huge target to hit them. So he'll be annoyed at that. He'll be even more annoyed that he's not got any sort of shot other than a testy cut in the 11. That was a huge target to hit. Whether it be hitting him direct or hitting the rail short of them, he was bound to move something. So cut the 11 to the right corner pocket, 2 rails into them or 1 rail into the back of them. He's bound to hit them this time. And he's overcut it, I think. Yeah. So the difference in these pockets is still going to catch players out, even though they're not as tight as what the 10-ball tournament was. So again, 1 or 2 consolation balls for Preacher to deal with. Cobra 27 points away from round 2. And that was overcut by quite a margin. The 2-ball. Right, if you're right on the rail, you can easily deal with the 2-ball. And I think he'd have to drop this in dead weight if he's going to try and hold for the 2. I think that's what the idea is here. Oh, I think he can maybe tweak this, can he? And cheat the pocket a wee bit. Maybe not. Try to get there again, I think. Oh, he's got it this time. But all he can do is just drop it in and roll forward. He's right on the rail, or pretty much the rail. Now, this is a wild shot. You're going to have to get the pace into this. Well, missed on both fronts. Missed the pot with a big stun and missed the pack with the cue ball. But it is stone dead safe. Well, I think he's Preacher's absolutely stuck to that 12-ball. Now, if he just rolled down onto the 8-ball and double kissed it, he wouldn't leave a lot on. But doing that's going to leave a shot on. And immediately, Cobra should be looking to nip back off this 1-ball. No, he's running forward to get on the 10 to do. I thought he could have if he just finished there, he could have done a hell of a lot of damage potting that 11. But he's reasonably good in the 10, I think. Well, the 11-ball comes to the rescue there because, again, I don't think he had anything on the other way. They didn't really break, did they? Not really. So He's got a bailout ball up top. That's more than likely where he's heading, unless he can get another chip here. Well, again, it's not really helped him a great deal. Now, he's pushed another ball down table. So this is going to be a thin cut. Maybe spin it to... Oh, I thought he was going to spin it to the long range. Try to go into the 3 or the 2. That'll work. Well, it works in the sense that he's still potting balls, but he's not in good shape right now. He's 20 away from the finish line, but that's helped it a little. But has he got a pot? Well, 13 into the side, that'll certainly cure the problem, I would think. That'll nudge those 3 balls out. And now you have to get the blueprint out for how you're going to deal with what's left here. So 5 balls, 7 balls, 6 ball dead, 15 balls a break ball. And, well, you could work the 2 ball to get to the 15. You could work the 8 ball to get to the 15. So he's sitting good. And this should be the end of the match here. I say it should be, provided he gets either of those penultimate balls or potential penultimate balls and gets on that 15. He should be pretty much home and dry if it works out. So roll the 9 in, just roll through a wee bit. He can get rid of the 6 or the 7. Well, he's rolled a bit further through, so I'm not really sure what he's doing. I am not sure what he's up to here. Is that 6 ball out of the stack? I thought that was dead. No, it's fine. That's been nudged out of play. It's into the break ball zone. So that's why his pattern has changed. So you would think that the 2 ball would have been the one now to get good in the 6. So he's far too straight in this 7. He's got to watch. So now I think he's now on to plan C. It's going to be the 2 ball to the 8 ball to get to the 6, whereas as far as I'm concerned, this was far the better ball to be getting good in the 6. It was a lot easier and a lot more comfortable to get good in the 6. Now it's not quite as good. And this ain't either. Well, if he thin cuts the 8 ball, spins it up to the long rail, he can go 2-3 rails to come out. It looks as if he's going the other way, though. Now, he needs to get this running. I think he's short. He's short. So, loads of top. Try and nip around the corner. But I think he's missing the pack. Yeah. So, he's now 9 points away and he's going to have to bide his time. So after 1 hour and 90 minutes, no, I'll say that again, 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is 90 minutes. My bloody head's spinning. we're into the final furlong in horse racing terminology. We'll get a look at the bracket next, because I mean, I'm assuming Larry's here, because is Cobra lined up for you, Larry? I don't know who's going to play who after this, because I never looked at the bracket at all in the last few days. So I have no idea what's happening, who's set to play who. In fact, Larry's probably fallen asleep. Well, there's an 8-ball there that would do a fair bit of damage if you can get good on it. Now, you can go forward in this 9-ball, but not too far. He's left that a mile short. He's sort of chickened out there. You've seen the way he shot that ball. He chickened out and actually killed the cue ball rather than just letting it run out. He could have got himself square in that 8-ball. He's went for the big wild cut on it. And I think that...
Hasta la vista, baby.
I think that is Arnie time. Well, I say that. I presume Cobra's got a shot. Is he having to play a combo? I thought he'd a shot on. Well, he does. I mean, he's got a wild 13 that's very, very narrow gap to get that in. But the combo will do. And he can play a little chip cut in this 5 if he wants. And he's got the bailout balls here, so why not take the opportunity now? I think he could have took the opportunity right now, play the cut, just bump them open, and he was guaranteed a bailout ball anyway if he'd come off the side of the pack and just run that direction. But anyway. But all the balls are there that he needs to see this match to its conclusion. Well, you play Albie next. Oh, good luck with that then, Larry. Well, he's dead straight. Looks as if it's going to be the 14 ball into the side or up table. He's got the option to do that right now. But he's going to have to nip back here, maybe. If he goes forward, I don't think he's going to have an awful lot on. And likewise, again, same scenario. He can't roll forward. He's going to have to nip into the cue ball again. And that should be that. Because the cue balls can go to the rail and come out. He's bound to be on a shot one way or another. That takes him to 198. And the rest is elementary, my dear Watson. Well, Cobra's had a comfortable outing, under no pressure. Sets a new high run for the tournament. And game, set, and match. So Cobra wins by 200 points to 44, and he's through to round 2. And Preacher moves over to that one-loss side. And we will see In fact, I'll do it that way. I'll just hit that instead. First of all, we'll have a quick look and see what we've got as regards the schedule. As Larry said, Acero and Tommy are set for a week today at 12 noon. Now, the bad news for that is that that's just a bit tight for me. I have a short shift next Friday, same as today, and I can certainly get probably most of that match. I'm going to have to probably rush it and maybe not have anything to eat when I get home, which is never good. But they're set for a week today at 1 p.m. Noon GMT, which is like, that will still be like 7 a.m. Eastern, I think, or 8 a.m. I think they're 4 hours behind, aren't they? So it's like 8 a.m. or something like that. But in the meantime, we've got Rabi up against Silent but Deadly. And that is on Sunday Sunday evening at 6:30. I can be around for that one. And then, of course, as Larry mentioned, we've got Albinario up against Larry on next Tuesday evening, which is ideal for me because I'm finished on Tuesday and then got my 2 days off on the Wednesday and Thursday, so I can cover that match next week. So that's the 3 matches that are left. And let's have a look at the full bracket if we can get it to work. Right. So top to bottom, we have Acero and Tommy in round 2. We have German Potting Machine through to round 3, so he's waiting in the winner of Acero and Tommy. And I would suggest that German Potting Machine, by the evidence I've seen so far, is going to have a tough one to get through that. Either of those 2 guys should be too strong for him. And then further down, we have Silent but Deadly up against Rabi. They're the one of the matches that are scheduled, as is the round 2 match with Albie and Larry. Further down, we've got Interchange X and MC Clarkey. Now, the deadline dates for these matches is the 24th because they are round 2, so there's still plenty of time to get things sorted out. We've got to bear in mind that there's a fair time zone difference there between Interchange. I don't know whether Interchange X is East Coast, West Coast, or the middle of nowhere like Larry is in the States, but there'll be at least a 4 to 7 hour time zone difference between them two, between Matt and Interchange X. You've got Stubb up against Spectre Dawn, and likewise for them, exactly the same thing in terms of time zone difference for those round 2 matches. We've got Cobra, who of course is now through to play Soft Break, and at the bottom we have Miasma against Mark Shark, which is either going to go ahead or it ain't going to go ahead. So I don't know what's going to happen with them two. And that is it. I mean, the one loss side will take shape soon enough, but that is all the matches that we have. It's all that we have for today. Well done to Cobra. Comfortable win. That's a handy start. And of course, things ramp up. But now there's a target for people to try and beat. The high run of 95 by Cobra. Is he West Coast? So that's like 7 hours behind us at the moment. So that's a fair time zone difference still, because they're normally 8 hours behind. But we don't change our clocks forward until the 29th, the early hours of Sunday morning, the 29th of March. So we're still, a couple of weeks away from that yet, near enough. Right, that's it, folks. Thanks for your company. And we will see you soon. At the earliest point, it looks like next week, unless there's any other matches get set between now and then that fall into my time zone. We will see you again then. So take care, good afternoon, good morning, and we'll see you again soon.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.